When you're offering someone Jesus' cheek, you might as well offer them his cheek and show them his holy way of walking while you're at it. Maybe then they'll turn into a believer also. That is how you get even with them. That is really how you take an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. When you have them seeing what you see and speaking what you speak, then you have taken a life for a life. You have taken away their spirit of death that did nothing but strike down all that is righteous, wherever it heard it, and would never follow God's holy laws. A spirit was covered in shame and destined to be burned in hell. And you have had them bear faith, a spirit of life, one that loves instead of hates, so they can live as one of God's children. This is really how you can do mankind a favor. Instead of just judging everyone and resisting all those you don't agree with, you should try to help them. Fighting with them has done nothing more than cause them more harm, because if they weren't already going to hell, they are now, because you have pushed them even faster by getting them to reject God even more because of your holier-than-thou attitude. Pay them some respect and show them what acting righteous is really like, and you may convert them to the church. You striking at their unrighteousness to make you look better is not much different than them striking at your righteousness to make them feel better. Both are unworthy of God's reward, and you should be careful not to do it. If you want to spend eternity in heaven with your Father. Nothing else will work but a worldwide upheaval in order to change this world. Everything is set in concrete for anything else to work. And we must hit it with all that we have if we want to succeed in changing it. If a Jew believes in Jesus, they are still a Jew. However, does a Gentile who believes in Jesus become a Jew since Jesus is a Jew and we are to become like him? I think yes. I realize that there will be those who will not be able to resist doing a black market trade with the unbelievers because of the great amount of profit that they can get. Please understand, I do not want it to be a standard practice, and I would like it to be mainly for humanitarian purposes, for things they cannot do without, like food and clothing. And also understand that the tariffs I collect from you for such trading may be equal to as much as the increased profits you receive. I'm doing that so you are not doing business with them for money, but only as an act of compassion until they are weaned off the business and products we have taken from them. I do not want people living in the lake of fire living as good as we are because of unscrupulous dealers trying to make easy money. I want people in the lake of fire to suffer because they have rejected God. I want them to change their ways, and having people who will go behind my back to supply whatever materialistic goods they are willing to pay for is not going to help. And don't think you can get away with it without our knowledge. We will be using different money, so you'll have to explain to us every time you do a deal that uses money that comes from outside of the kingdom, because we have to turn that money in so we can replace it with kingdom money that you can use to pay your suppliers. And we don't want to do it a lot because we have to launder that worthless money back to where it came from, which of course we'll be able to do without a problem. And to think you thought the Louisiana Purchase was a good deal? Wait until you see what we do. Again, so you understand, I am not totally outlawing you from selling to an unbeliever, but I do want you to exercise precaution so that you only do it when it serves our overall purpose of bringing the world to God and the knowledge of Christ. This society almost did me in. It has not been very kind to me. A couple of divorces, it took my kids away, constant trouble with the law. You would think that a society that is so against God and His laws wouldn't have any laws. But only one with pride-filled men could think they could do it better than God. And of course this society thinks it's all my fault because I won't fit in like it wants me to. Maybe it should stop blaming me and start looking at itself. If I had been a weaker man, this society would have crushed me. But I have found a way to fight that beast off my back and win. And that's to completely rely on God and Christ to help. Now let's see who gets crushed. Men and women both work at being partners in a relationship. However, mankind has made that mean both work at a job also, which is wrong. Having both work at a job does nothing but take away from their work at being partners. You will be considered a foreigner as long as you are not a citizen of New Jerusalem. The 10 lepers that Jesus cleansed actually represent the organization of different church denominations. And after He cleansed them, the different denominations went away and became one new church, one that is filled with faith and truly saved, that gives praise and thanks to God continuously and bows to Jesus as its supreme master. It is only this church that will be allowed to go throughout the world and be part of New Jerusalem. If you want me to have mercy on you, then you must be part of this new divine church. The church is demon possessed. Did you know there were over 2,000 main different denominations, which is being possessed by a legion of demons? If I drive out those demons, it will shut everyone up. There will be no one that will be able to hold me down and deny that my name is Jesus, the Son of the Most High God. If you keep your distance from God and Jesus, then they will keep their distance from you. The only way to get us to end this war is if all the governments of the world surrender. When they do, we will declare victory and it will be over. Anything that is secular poses a danger to what we're doing. That is why we are going to make everything in the kingdom centered around the belief in God. We have liberated this world and freed it from the control of the wicked. How can you say I'm exalting myself when I'm the only one that's bowing down to everything that we're called to bow to and worship?